find the truth. I find me in you. A truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See with new eyes, allowing them fold. Embrace and let go. Trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out, slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know, let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, yeah.
One, two.
We unite. Yeah, when we unite. Yeah. You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Center for Spiritual Living, Ocala. Everyone here in the room or who may be tuning in online. We welcome you here to our community. And this year is what? Beyond surviving and into thriving, all right? And Peggy's going to share with us today about prosperity. I see some of the materials up here, which I'm familiar with. So you're going to be in for a big treat. And let's see what we got here, if I can run this thing. There we go. So we got our first coming up, our vision. We'll stay there for a minute. We are a model center for spiritual living as evidenced by the transformational impact we have on our spiritual community, the CSL organization, and the community at large. And if I forgot to drop it in, my name is David Grigas. I am on the board here and the treasurer. And I'm happy to do that. I enjoy that. So, mission: empower individuals to awaken to the power and presence that lies within and all around them so they may live their best lives. Everybody down for that? Okay. Then we're going to go to our values. All right. I'll say them and you can repeat them after me if you feel comfortable with that. Spiritual growth and practice. Love. Appreciation. Community. Freedom. Creativity. Health and wholeness. Generosity. Last but not least, financial well-being. Yeah, I like the little extra, the little kick at the end for the financial well-being. So I'm not going to jump ahead here, and most of you will not need an introduction for Reverend Peggy, but some of you who may need that introduction. You are the minister here between what years? Where?
1995 and 2015.
Yes. So she knows this material. She is what we call a subject matter expert on this material. And with that, I think we're moving into your portion of it here, and I will hand it over.
Thank you, David. Yes, and I don't need the mic. I think I'm on. Can you hear me? We'll put that there in case somebody wants it later. So yes, my name is Peggy Hostettler, and I was first a practitioner here in the early 90s and became a minister and served here as senior minister from 2000 to 2015, and then retired and went to Orlando to help to rebuild a center that had fallen apart. So this teaching has been my life. And for us to know that what we're about this morning is one of the very most practical applications of spirituality in our life. The gift that this teaching brings to us actually touches every area as we put it into practice. It touches our well-being, it touches our health, it touches our relationships and love, it touches our prosperity. And quite often, prosperity is something that needs the most working on because of back training we've had. Perhaps we were raised in a home such as I was. We had enough, but no one talked about prosperity. As a matter of fact, when I went to church on a Sunday morning, they put down the idea of being prosperous as being spiritual. And so there's something to be healed for many of us. And a good deal of what I came to know as I was coming to this teaching since 1970, I celebrated my birthday this last week. And so that's one thing I'm grateful for. I have been on this planet 79 years. Now, I don't say I'm 79 years old. You notice I didn't say it that way. As Eric Butterworth, a Unity teacher, would say, my age is none of my business. And so we can celebrate being on the plane. So there's lots to celebrate. Today is my daughter's birthday. I gave birth to her on September 1st, 1971. And so lots to give thankful for. And when we get to the gratitude part, those would be examples that I would bring forward. So the thing that I would like to invite you all, if there's a semblance within yourself that feels less than prosperous, in your mind, go back to the door you came into this building and leave it outside. As you come here this morning, know that you are an abundant being living in a wealthy universe. I invite you to take that in with the next breath that you take. That is the truth about you. You are an abundant being living in a wealthy universe. And the universe gives us lots of examples of that, doesn't it? If we were to look at the cosmos, go out on a starry night. We have lots of those around here. If you get far enough from the city lights, look up into the sky, millions and billions of stars. The abundance of the universe is palpable. We know that's the truth of being. We know that God is abundant. That which creates and sustains the whole universe is an abundant being, and you are, just like the leaves on trees, you can't count them all. The gifts that you have available to you are without measure and without number. And if you take our teaching to heart, and as you take our teaching to heart, and I invite you to do that, we know what we're talking about is all consciousness. If you feel yourself to be a poor, poverty-stricken individual, that's what you're attracting into your life. As you know that you're an abundant being, an opulent being in an overabundant universe, that's where you come from. And things on the outer part of your life line up to match that. I see lots of heads nodding. You know that. We know that intellectually. So what I would like to do right now is take my magic wand and go around the room and sprinkle prosperity dust on all of you. It's not fairy dust, it's prosperity dust. And you're going to take that out the door with you today when you leave. You are covered with prosperity dust. And your mental state is shifting because of what we're teaching here this morning and what you'll do in the workshop so that you feel yourself to be a prosperous being. Now, let me tell my story just a little bit. I was not always of that state of mind myself. When I first came into this teaching, I was very eager to put this aspect of it to work in my life because I was actually what we call the dark night of the soul period of our lives. My husband and I had started a business that was failing. So I know from whence we might have come. And whether that's your story or not doesn't matter. The truth is the end result that we're after today, okay? So here we are. I'm going to give you one of these. Let's read it together. Be it known that by right of abundant and prosperous consciousness of absolute good, now put in your name, say it out loud, has everything it takes to demonstrate, receive, and share the abundance of universal, infinite substance now and forever. And this is bequeathed to you by Center for Spiritual Living, Ocala. And notice what it says at the top of the page. Millionaire's license. I have one of the books up here from Edwene Gaines, and I went to her workshops many times in Gainesville and Orlando. And somewhere in this book, she says that if all of them, and this was some years ago, I don't know what the number is today, if all of the money in the world was divided equally among all the people in the world. Now think about all the money that's out there in the world. If it were divided equally, guess how much each person would get? $3 million. And she would then look at us and say, where's yours? So when we talk about a prosperous universe, we're taking it literally here. It isn't that there's a lack of anything. But if we believe in lack, that's what we manifest. Or if we have challenges in our life that get in the way of our prosperity, we're holding it off from us. Do we understand that? Maybe we're the one that's holding it away because of what our belief system is. So let's go to the next slide. Oops, I want to go back one. There we go. Okay, so much of what we're going to do today is experientials in this workshop come from Diane Harmony's 5 Gifts for an Abundant Life course. Have any of you taken the 5 Gifts class? Angel has, years ago. I didn't teach it. Delight Piper taught it. Delight Piper taught it in this room. So, but it's been a while, so you don't mind doing some of those experientials again, right, Angel? Okay, so notice the things that are written across here. We're creating a consciousness of wealth if we don't already have it. If we do have a consciousness of wealth already, we're up-leveling it, right? So that's what we're about this morning. Gratitude, intentions, forgiveness, tithing, and surrender. Those are going to be the 5 things that we're listing. And notice those are the 5 gifts. And the word gifts is an acronym of those 5 things. Gratitude, intentions, forgiveness, tithing, and surrender. So we'll spend some time with each of these 5 things. I don't know just how long we're going to take. It'll take as long as it takes, and I hope you're up for whatever that is, because I didn't time the workshop, and you all will help. If it gets to be too crowded, we might squeeze some things near the end. But I don't want to hold back. I would like for you to experience the whole possibility of this up-leveling of consciousness in your life and transformation into that prosperous being which you are by divine right. I went backwards instead of forwards. Okay, so gratitude. And we have a song that's going to go with this. This is our first one, the G in the word gifts. And so and if you know this song, sing it. And if you don't know it, you will before we get done. It's Karen Drucker, I Am So Blessed. Can we see that on all the screens? Bear with us. Part of our transformation is patience, right? Our AV team is so wonderful. Very good. And I invite you to get into the song as you sing it. Feel it.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Okay. Okay, so I have a question for us. Are we taking for granted the abundance that already exists in our lives? I'm going to read to you from The Secret Gratitude book. How many of you have seen the movie The Secret or know about it? This is from Rhonda Byrne, and it's from the introduction of this gratitude journal that I have. Whenever I'm asked the easiest way to use The Secret, my answer is always the same: gratitude. It's one of the most powerful emotions you can use to bring all good into your life in absolute abundance. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, gratitude can dissolve all negativity in your life, no matter what form it has taken. Let me explain how something as simple as gratitude can completely transform your life. The Secret explains that the law of attraction is the most powerful law in the universe. The magnificent law governs all energy, attracting like energy to like energy. Einstein proved that everything in the universe is energy. All energy vibrates at particular frequencies. We are energy too. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs determine the vibration and frequency of your energy. As you focus on gratitude and think, speak, and feel gratitude, you are transforming your energy frequency into one of the most powerful and highest frequencies of all. Gratitude attracts like energy of gratitude to it. So as you are feeling grateful, you are powerfully bringing like energies to you, which will have you experience more things to be grateful for. In other words, you will magnetize you to the energy of people, circumstances, and events that will bring all good into your life. It's impossible to bring more good into your life if you're feeling ungrateful for what you have. Why? Because the thoughts and feelings you emit as you feel ungrateful attract a life filled with more things to feel ungrateful about. Whether it is jealousy, resentment, dissatisfaction, or feelings of not enough, those negative emotions cannot bring you what you want. They are blocking your own good from coming to you. If you want a new car, but you're not grateful for the car you have, that will be the dominant frequency you're sending out, and you cannot attract something better. On the other hand, if you feel grateful for the car you have now, you are powerfully summoning an even better car to you. The negative things that we experience in life are simply caused by turning away from all the good that is there. Imagine that the universe, which is all good, is like the sun. The sun continually shines, sending out its life energy to us in never-ending stream. You experience the effect of the sun when you're facing it. But if you turn away, you will no longer receive its life-giving effects. The universe is operating identically to the sun. It's always there and always available, sending all good to you. When you focus your thoughts and feelings on gratitude, you are turning toward all good that is being permanently offered to you. But when you complain, blame, criticize, feel resentment, jealousy, or any negative emotion, you are turning away from that which is good. Does that make sense? Does that make sense in our lives? Okay, so we're going to do an exercise. Oops. Well, that book wanted to be on the floor. We just proved the law of gravity. Okay, so I would invite you to find a partner, either beside you or across the table, and you're going to do this exercise with them. Two people everywhere. Two people, two people, two people. And if you want to move away from the table so you can get closer to each other, move your chairs, that's fine. You can do that. Does everybody have a partner yet? I don't have a partner. Here. Who needs a partner? Raise your hand. Okay. So you can take your chairs away from the table and sit near each other so that you can hear each other, and there's going to be other talking in the room, so you won't be discouraging one another. Yeah. He just moved. He went to the kitchen.
I've no partners.
Well, he's. Who still needs a partner? Raise your hand. Okay, everybody got one. Okay, pick who is A. Who is A in your group? Decide who A is. Okay. I need a timer here. Sorry, just a second. Timer. Okay. Okay. Letter A, for 2 minutes, say, I love and appreciate, and finish the sentence. And B says back to A, yes. Letter A is saying, it's on the screen, I love and appreciate, and finish the sentence. So you're going to list the things you love and appreciate in your life, and your partner is simply going to say yes. And then you're going to do it again, and keep doing it for the next 2 minutes. And then we'll switch. So I've got my timer here. Oops, went away. Okay, begin. Yes. You should be talking. Yes. You got 1 more minute. You're halfway through.
Especially my kitty girl. I'm not supposed to be favorite to them. I don't have a favorite, but my kitty girl who is I love and appreciate everything she does for me, and especially as she's getting older, you know, I would feel like that. I love and appreciate. I know I already mentioned my family went for fires and shout out. I love and appreciate you.
Okay. Now switch. Now switch. Okay. Okay, let's stop. Let's stop. Okay. We're not going to spend a lot of time on talking about that in the large group, but that was pretty easy to do, wasn't it? To find the things you're grateful for and the things you appreciate. Okay, now this is not quite so easy to do for 2 whole minutes, but do it anyway. Now we're back to letter A person doing the talking. And now you're going to say, I love and appreciate myself for, and finish that sentence. What do you appreciate yourself for? Go ahead and go.
I guess my creativity. I live my life very creative. And I feel like I love and appreciate that. I also appreciate my nature. I feel like I'm not really I have been hurt before, but I'm like, that water will change your really, really yeah, I want to be a kind person. All the Disney princesses were kind. So, I mean, that was the thing to be. So, I also appreciate myself for it. I'm grateful and I appreciate a little bit.
The tissues are over there. Yeah, the tissues ended up over here.
It would be so much easier to say.
Pam needs some tissues. Oh, he got another
So
box.
much easier to say this is where.
Okay, let's switch. Time to switch. Okay, let's all come back to the room now and take your seats where you were before. And let's just do some quick sharing in the room. Is there anything anyone would like to share about this exercise, this process?
I think it was difficult to love and appreciate yourself.
Okay, we should have a mic. Should have a mic. Yeah, Cheryl, please. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead and say it again, Cheryl, because we do have people online here. Or we've got to record it. Yeah, go ahead and say it again.
I think that I love and appreciate myself for was a little bit difficult because I had to think of me.
Uh-huh. Is that an experience everybody had?
Yes.
Yeah. And yes. Yeah. Let's hand the mic down.
So I've been doing this for quite a few years. When I first started doing it, I would say that I had that experience of like it's really hard for yourself. Like you can always say outside of you, like I'm grateful for my friends and my family and my community. But a lot of people have a harder time when it comes to themselves and what they're grateful for. And I would like to say that I am grateful that I did not struggle with this because that's a lot for me. So that's my grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. Thank you, David. Oh, Lori, yes.
Yeah, I just want to say that, what I love and appreciate outside of me was, oh my gosh, it was flying out of me. I couldn't say it fast enough. I had so much. And then when it came to what I love and appreciate myself for, the big thing that, because I struggle with that now, I'm on my journey, is my animals. Because, when you take care of those precious ones that don't have a voice and do depend on you, it's like, I love and appreciate my willingness to give them that life.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Yes.
And I mean, it was also a little bit more difficult for me to talk about myself. But one thing that I noticed is when I was struggling to say, just with Lori saying yes to me, and it's like a confident yes. It's like, okay, yeah, I really do appreciate that. And it allows me to keep going.
Uh-huh. Good.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
Okay, so the question I have for all of you is, why did we do this in a prosperity workshop? Do we see the importance of gratitude when it comes to having prosperity consciousness? If gratitude is causative, and that's what Rhonda Byrne said in the beginning of that book, and The Secret, and that gratitude journal, is that it's causative. It sets in cause the next motion, next thing in motion. So if we're taking something for granted, or we're complaining about it, we're not attracting the better thing to come tomorrow or the next day after that, are we? As we give thanks for what we have, what was in the past, now we're setting ourselves up for more good to come into our future. So we've got this 3 different tenses to think about in our gratitude, and that's what's on the screen right now. I'm grateful for what was, I'm grateful for what is, and I'm grateful for what will be. And if you've been a student of this teaching for a while, you know that the 4th step of the science of mind, of prayer, affirmative prayer, is gratitude. We give thanks for things before they get here, because that really sets in motion our willingness to receive it. And so for us to remind ourselves, so much of what we're talking about today is just little triggers that when they come up in your day, tomorrow or the next day, we might choose to complain. We could choose to think about something grateful about it instead, and invite that to know that what we're doing is we're building our spiritual prosperity consciousness. So see it as a task and one of those 5 gifts that Diane Harmony put together in the course that we're getting these things from. Okay, the next one is intentions. Now, we can intend to do something, can't we? And if we don't intend to do it, does it happen? Not as well. Now, last time I was here, in a plastic bag, Cheryl gave me a loofah which had seeds in it to grow more of these loofah plants. Now, I have a bag full of seeds, and if any of you would like seeds when we leave today, you can take a few. But if all we do is look at the seeds and think, oh, I would really like to have some loofahs growing in my yard, will I ever get loofahs to harvest in my own yard? But I did that. And so a few days after last month when I was here, I soaked some of my loofah seeds and I planted them. Now, what we're talking about here is this law of cause and effect, our setting intentions to bring good into our lives. It's like my planting some loofah seeds to get a loofah plant that will ultimately grow loofah sponges. And these are great. I use them in the bathtub to scrub my feet. With love bug season coming up soon, they're great to scrub your car because it doesn't scratch the car when you get love bugs on the front of it. You just moisten it. Oh, I'm dropping seeds. That's significant, isn't it? So as we're talking about setting intentions, let us use whatever is a graphic idea for us to know the importance, to get clear as to what it is we desire in our lives, and then set in motion by praying and moving our feet to bring that into our experience, right? Okay, so what we have, and I invite you to get out a piece of paper. Let's see, wrong thing. I want this. Let's just take a couple quotes first. This is from The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. One of the most important things for us to remember is that we're always causing something to be created for us, and that whatever cause we've set in motion must produce some kind of an effect. Are we producing the effects we should like to experience? And then from Jesus, therefore I say unto you, all things whatsoever ye pray and ask for, believe that ye have received them, and ye shall have them. So we could take a look at the different areas of our life. And I would like for you to take a piece of blank paper out and write all of these down and leave some room to write after them. These are different areas of your life: career, family relationships, finances, investments, fun and play, health and well-being, love and friendship, personal growth, education, and spiritual growth. And we're going to spend a little bit of quiet time around each of these things in an exercise in a few moments. So I do invite you to write them all down. Or take a picture of them and then refer to them when you're writing. Yes.
You know what's interesting is I'm looking at the way that it's laid out is that family relationship, it doesn't say family love and relationship and friendship. It says family relationship, love, and friendship. I find that very interesting.
I would have probably grouped them all together myself, but yeah. This is the way Diane Harmony has it in the 5 Gifts class, and no doubt it was intentional from her perspective, and I don't know the reason.
Well, it would seem that family love and then relationship / friendship would go together, but it's
Yeah.
not the case.
Yes, not the case. Yes. Of course, if you were creating it, you might do it differently, right?
That's right.
Me too. Okay. So is everyone ready now? What we're going to do is I'm going to invite you to imagine, to dream, to open yourself up to new areas, perhaps that you hadn't thought about in those particular things. And we're not going to take a long time writing. This is going to be off the top, but we're going to do some quiet time first with each of these things. And so this is a planting of seeds, perhaps. It might be something you've not really had a chance to consider. And as you write down what you do, don't think about how it's going to happen. Dream big. Allow your imagination to take you over the top with it, whatever it might be, okay? So what you're going to have is I'm going to name one of those dimensions and time 30 seconds where you're not to write yet, just to think and dream and imagine about it. And then when the 30 seconds is up, I'll ask you to write, and you'll have 15 seconds to write. And then we'll go on to the next one. So this is to be quick in its response. And this is something you could do later at greater length in the future. But just as for this particular exercise, the purpose is to just open us up to using our imaginations, to set our intentions, perhaps in new ways that we've not done recently or before. Okay, so let me get my timer ready, because this is going to, it's not long to, okay. Okay, so career. Just think about it for 30 seconds. Okay, now write for 15 seconds about it. Okay, now stop. Now let's go on to the next one, family relationships. Think about it for 30 seconds now. Okay, now write about it for 15 seconds. Okay, stop. Next one, finances and investments. Think about it. Finances and investments. Okay, write about it for 15 seconds. Okay, stop. Next one. Fun and play. Think about it for 30 seconds. Okay, 15 seconds to write about it. Okay, stop. Next one. Health and well-being. Okay, now write about it for 15 seconds. Stop. Love and friendship. Think about it for the next 30 seconds. Love and friendship. We're just thinking about it. Okay, now let's write about it for the next 15 seconds. Stop. Okay, next one. Personal growth and education. Let's think about it for the next 30 seconds. Okay, let's write about it now for the next 15 seconds. Okay, the last one. Let's think about for the next 30 seconds spiritual growth. Okay, let's now write about it for the next 15 seconds. Okay, we're done. Now lift your pen off the paper, but put the date at the top, September 1st, 2024. And the invitation from Diane Harmony in the coursework is to write, fold it, and put 6 months from now's date. So what date would that be? February, March 1st, 2025, yes. March 1st, 2025. And the invitation is for you to keep it somewhere safe, and on March 1st, open it and read it. Yeah, March 1st is 6 months from now. Won't that be interesting? Anybody just want to make a comment about that before we go on? Yes, we need the mic. Thank you, David.
Probably over 35 years ago, from Science of Mind and Ernest Herm, I learned how to use all of these programs. And believe me, they all work. I couldn't always articulate it, but I could learn how to live it. And if you learn it, you'll use it, and you'll be everything as good as you are. And you're from the old school when I learned.
Bless you. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else want to share anything? Okay, so we've done, of the 5 gifts, we've done G and I. Now we're on a real tough one, but a powerful one, forgiveness. And my questions are to you about forgiveness. What would it be like to lay your burden down? To be free of judgment, free of expectation, free of anger, free of resentment, free of guilt, free of past mistakes, to be loving all the time, to be healthy in body, mind, and spirit, to be free of debt, to see the world the way God sees. And here's a question or a statement from Edwene Gaines in her book, Four Pillars of Prosperity or something is the title. Oops, I hit too many buttons. Wow. How did I do that? Can you get me back, Cole, to where I was? Forgiveness. Yeah, forgiveness, and then I'll go from there. Okay, outstanding. Thank you so much. Here's the next one. Take a look at this and then take a deep breath. Are you in financial debt? You're not going to get out of debt until you learn how to forgive. So for us to take that to heart, I mean, this is our culture. Think about the large debt that a good number of Americans are in today. What if the key to getting out of debt is forgiveness? Are we willing to be that forgiving person that knows freedom from debt? That's my question. I've been there, I've worked on it, and I can say that there's great wisdom in this personally. I am free of debt and have been for a number of years. And this was a key to my becoming free of debt. So here we go. We're going to do a worksheet. Who'd like to hand this out? A couple people to hand these out. If you need more, I have them. We're going to be writing a letter to a caregiver or a parent, especially in our life, that we're going to forgive. And if someone else comes to mind to you that you would really like to do your forgiveness work upon, you can name them. So this is an opportunity not for us to do a bypass and just say, I'm going to forgive them, but to feel our feelings about this unforgiveness thing that's been hanging out there in our lives. And if you've done forgiveness workshops before, I still invite you to do this today. Many of you, if you've been in this teaching for a long time, have done lots of work in forgiveness. This still can be a powerful gift to you today. If you were to choose to say, okay, I'm going to look at my life and decide to have this really prosperous life that I desire, and this is a key to opening the door to that. And I'm willing to do the work. So we're having fun today, but I don't promise that everything is easy in transforming our consciousness to that prosperity consciousness that we desire, right? Okay, name the person. You're writing a letter, but we're not writing a letter. On this side of the page, we're using these prompts to help us write the letter. So the invitation is that you're going to spend a few, let's see, where's my forgiveness thing? We don't have that much time. Okay, so let's spend a minute on each of the numbered things. Pick one of those things. You don't have to write on every line, but write so you'll be able to read it later on. We're going to address, notice the things you're going to be addressing. You're going to be addressing anger and sadness and fear and regret and coming to a place of love and forgiveness at the end. So I will be timing us, and I will say, let's spend the next minute. Yes, go ahead. You have a question? You don't have a paper. I have more. Who doesn't have a paper?
I had to go get my paper.
Oh, so then. Oh, there's more. You don't need to print more. I have more. I have more. I thought I handed out enough. Who doesn't have one? Now, let's wait for everybody else. Mm-hmm. I printed 50. I have prosperous consciousness. One for you and one for you. Oops, that might be two. Do you want to pass one to your husband? Yes, I made 50 copies. I just didn't hand them all to you. Did everybody get one? Okay. Okay, so because of time constraints, we'll only spend a minute on each of these numbered things. Now, this is for your eyes only. This is not something we'll be sharing at all in the group today. So unless you choose to share it later with someone else, that's not what's being asked at all here. So let's be allowing ourselves to go deep. And before we start to write, I'm just going to invite us, does everybody have a name in mind that they're writing their forgiveness letter to? Is there anyone that needs a name to write it to? I have a name in mind as well. And I've done forgiveness over and over again for this individual, but I'm going to do it again. Okay, and let's just close our eyes for a moment. I invite us as we turn within to know how valuable our feelings are. As we know that we can be grateful for ourselves in the previous thing that we were doing, let's be grateful for our feelings in this moment and know how valid they are. For us to be able to express them in ways that allow an opening of our heart. I know that as we do these answers and fill out this form, we are crafting a very important letter that needs to be written. It does not need to be mailed, but it needs to be written. And as we write it, we have the opportunity of giving ourselves a very valuable gift. So I invite us to just take a look at number 1, write about those things on lines under number 1 that you would feel a calling to do, and you'll have a minute to do that. Okay, go on to number 2, please. Okay, go to number 3, please. Okay, go to number 4, please. Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, go to number 5. Okay, let's stop, please. Okay. Now, on the other side of the paper, I invite you to write the letter that you would love for that person to write to you. If you could have that person say to you exactly what you need to hear from them, write that in letter form to yourself. And if anybody needs more paper, let me know. How are we doing? Getting close? close to being finished. Okay, let's wrap it up. There's still a couple people writing, but let's finish it, please. Yeah, we're doing them. Yeah, gratitude, intentions, forgiveness, tithing, and surrender. But we still have a couple to do. Intentions, forgiveness, tithing, surrender. Those are still before us here today. I have a question for you as a group. When you look at the letter that you have written from the person that you're dealing with in this forgiveness issue, are you willing to have your dyad partner read it to you? Or is it something so private you do not want it read by anybody else? Too private? Okay, all right. We won't do that today because we are running short on time. That is part of the exercise if you were in a class. And I do invite you to take that letter home and read it to yourself as if that person is saying those words to you. And even tweak it a little if there are more that you'd like to hear from them. You know, it's important for us to realize that forgiveness isn't condoning what happened. Forgiveness isn't making ourselves superior to someone else in any way. Forgiveness is freeing ourselves from that so that we can now be living in the present moment rather than in the past. Because if we're living in the past from something that's unforgiven, we don't have the energy that we would have available to us to live in the present moment and to invite what prosperity would come to us. Does that make sense? And for us to realize that this forgiveness work is very important and for it to be an ongoing, I think I might have these on slides. Do I? I've forgotten. Jesus was asked, how many times should we forgive? Was it 7 times? And Jesus' answer was clear, 70 times 7. And there's one translation of the Bible that says 70 times 70. Meaning we just keep on forgetting, letting go. We keep on forgiving. And might even at the end of each day forgive something that happened that day. And a good share of what we need to forgive is forgiveness of ourselves around things in our lives. So I'm going to invite us to do a self-forgiveness meditation right now. Okay, are you up for that? You just turn within, and I'm going to be taking this out of the 5 Gifts for an Abundant Life from Diane Harmony, the author of this course and this book. And so I just invite you to settle in and think about anything that you need to forgive yourself about. It might be related to the thing you just wrote about. There might be a component of that in self-forgiveness, but there may be other things that come up to mind to you. And so, yeah, we're ready for some nice meditation music as a background to this. And of course, an important component of this self-forgiveness work is to allow ourselves to just be with it. And so I just invite you to get comfortable in your chair. Feel yourself supported by the chair on which your body is resting. Know that you're supported. As you invite a feeling of nurturing and love to come into your awareness. Gently close your eyes and begin to focus your attention inward. Now draw in one long, deep breath that seems to come from the very depths of your being. And then release the breath in one long sigh. Ah. Let go of anything that may seem to be holding you back. Anything that seems to prevent you from relaxing. Take another deep breath, only this time let it come from a place even deeper than the last one. As you silently exhale, feel your body releasing even more, immersing itself in a feeling of warmth. Know you are safe and sound and that all is well. Continue to focus on your breath, breathing in long inhalations and exhalations from the core of your being. Allowing your body to go into deeper and deeper relaxation. Notice yourself beginning to let go and surrender to that warm feeling of peace. Let this blanket of relaxation spread over your body and feel your mind becoming calm and peaceful. With your next inhalation, visualize yourself inhaling light. As you exhale, imagine you're letting go of all tensions and worries, and allow yourself to totally surrender into the light. For this is a meditation of surrendering to the light of God within you, the divine presence. As you continue to visualize and feel this light permeating your being, say to yourself over and over again, I open myself to receive and accept the transforming light, this divine presence fully into my being. And now shift your attention to the area around your heart. And imagine that beautiful light bathing your heart in love and rest. As the light begins to massage that wonderful organ, feel your heart beginning to soften and open. Self-forgiveness is an act of the heart. A process of surrendering the heavy burdens of pain, anger, and resentment that you feel for yourself, which can cause your heart to shut you out of the divine love found there. Realizing that forgiveness is a process and a practice to allow you to return to your awareness of yourself as a child of God, you enter the remainder of this meditation by being willing to let go of the judgments and condemning thoughts you have of yourself and that keep you out of your own heart. You allow yourself now to totally surrender to the light. As you feel your heart opening in response to the massaging luminescence surrounding it. Imagine yourself now entering your heart on a beam of the beautiful light. You are immediately filled with the feeling of the presence of unconditional love within your own heart. Your attention is drawn to a translucent form seeming to be made up of the light of your own heart, coming to greet you, drifting to an even deeper state of serenity and calmness. You realize this radiant being is the vision of your holy self, come to welcome and support you. As you look into the eyes of this being, you feel love so purely and holy that any residue of fear or separation melts away in the light of that love. You find yourself immersed in the presence of divinity, and you feel your oneness with God. Your holy self holds you and surrounds you as you move toward the deep center of your heart. There you discover a fire burning on a sacred altar. Next to the translucent steps leading up to that pyre lie the burdens of your past that you're willing to forgive. Shaped like heavy wooden blocks, they're piled up and waiting for you to carry each one up to the purifying flames burning upon your personal altar. Bathed in the energy of light and love from your holy self, you approach the pile of blocks, affirming to yourself, there's only the love and the light of God here. You pick up a block, a heavy burden of judgment and self-condemnation. You are determined to embrace the full weight of this burden, to feel all the feelings of pain and resentment contained within that burden of unforgiveness towards yourself. You open yourself to receive the gift of wisdom it has for you. You allow yourself to be directed to the aspect of yourself that you know you are to love and accept before you can fully release this block. You realize that the block is becoming lighter now. As you ascend the steps, you feel the sense of lightness within you. At the top step, you release the wooden burden into the flames of the altar of your heart. And you say to yourself, I bless myself. I love myself. I forgive myself. As the flames of your heart engulf the block, you say to yourself, I allow the love of God within me to consume this burden in the power I have given it. And I am free. One by one, you bring each burden up. You feel what it feels for you, and you release it into the flames of your own heart with the words, I bless myself. I love myself. I forgive myself. Your process of self-forgiveness ends with the last burden block smoldering in the purifying fires of your own heart. Your whole being seems now to reflect the love and light of your holy self. Your holy self beams joy and peace to you as you float out of your loving heart, embraced by its light. Knowing that you are always with your holy self, you return your consciousness to your physical body and find it illuminated with the light and peace of God. Feeling unbounded gratitude for this journey of self-forgiveness, you emerge from it feeling whole and complete, aware that you have surrendered to the light of God, the divine presence within you. So I invite you to gently bring this gift when you come back into the room. And knowing that this particular process can be done by you at any time, that you need to do some self-forgiveness work. Okay. Now we're moving on to tithing. I'd like to do a couple quotes from the Bible first. This is not an easy topic if you've not been in the practice of tithing in your life up until now. But I would like to tell you some stories about my own experience with it. But first, let's ground it in a quote from the Old Testament. This is from Malachi. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. And try me now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open for you the windows of heaven and pour out for you such a blessing that there will not be room enough to receive it. And from Jesus, give and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over will be poured into your lap. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. Back in the 1980s, I was scared of the word tithing. I had not been brought up to tithe. I raised in the Methodist church, and my parents gave something every week. And we kids gave pennies almost every week in our collection in the junior church rooms that we attended. But the word tithing never really came into my life until I came into this teaching. And it was first brought to me by Edwin Gaines, who is the guru of tithing, and inviting us to take very literally what tithing is and see it as a foundation for prosperity in our lives. So if you feel some resistance about tithing, I know what you're feeling. This idea of giving 1/10 off the top of everything we bring in to where we're spiritually fed. Take a step back and say, oh, I can't afford to give 10% of what I take in to any spiritual source. But what if we could couch that in a different way? When you breathe in, what do you do afterward? You breathe out. Now, do you hold any of that air into your body so that you won't run out? You know that we live in this biosphere around the earth with lots of air, right? When you give love, do you give holding back? Or do you know that as you give love, it comes back full circle into your life? Now, if one reason you're here today is you'd like to see more money come into your experience of life, and that's a very practical thing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. And perhaps that was part of what my upbringing was, that it's more blessed to give than to receive, was something that we heard. Or people that are wealthy are not spiritual, or whatever the negative connotation was around money. There was fear about money. As a matter of fact, I was even raised by my most beautiful, wonderful mother, and I know she didn't mean to do it, but she gave me a choice of either being happy or having lots of money, that I couldn't do both. And so guess what? I chose to be happy, right? Although I had a lucrative job, it seemed to all just fritter away into nothingness. And then the time of my life came where there wasn't lots of money and I had to hold it tight. And that's when I came into this teaching and was first taught about tithing. What if we were to give 10%, and that would make the 90% go farther? Or what if we were to give 10% and the 90% would grow to be larger than the 90% that we've had thus far? What if there is a spiritual law around tithing? Just as there is a spiritual law around cause and effect. What if that were really true? And what if I could this morning, and I don't do the preacher thing very often, I like to think of myself as a teacher and not a preacher, but what if I could give you some training wheels to make that easy? Would you be up for that this morning? So that's what we're about. And that's what is at the end of the program today. But we're going to move through the last of the 5 gifts. So we're spending just a moment on tithing right now, but we'll come back to it with the unexpected income program that I'm going to suggest we participate in for the next couple months, the next 10 weeks. Okay, so let's get on to, got it pointed in the right direction. Surrender. How many of you at the end of your prayer say, and so it is? You're surrendering your prayer when you do that, aren't you? Or you should say, amen. It means the same as, and so it is. You're surrendering. You know, as long as we're trying to force anything to happen, we're not allowing Spirit to give it to us, are we? We think it's got to come from us. And we've got to make it happen. We've got to force things into our lives. So this idea of surrender is an important idea. And I don't know what this next slide is. Let's take a look at it. Yes, it's a song. So let's do the song. And I invite you to hear the words that Karen Drucker is singing, because what it is we're surrendering, we're not waving a white flag to the enemy. We're surrendering to our highest good. And if you know the song, please sing along. This is also called the morning prayer.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am kinder every moment, every day. And I'm more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day.
So that's the kind of surrender we're talking about, is surrendering to our highest good. To know that we're cradled in the arms of the infinite and that great good is ours by divine right. Now, if you were to have taken the 5 gifts class, and you might remember this, Angel, is an assignment that started right from the beginning of the 8-week class was that 100 times a day, every day, you were to say this: I surrender to the power and presence of God within me. So I invite you, if you would like to do this as a spiritual practice, to find the power of that in your life. You don't have to do it all at once. I guess it takes about 6 minutes, according to the teacher guide. But you could do it in blocks. So you could do 25 now and 25 later, but ultimately do 100 a day. I surrender to the power and presence of God within me. You know, when the truth is, I can't raise my arm by myself, can I? It's the life flowing through me that allows me to do anything. And so as I surrender my fear around money or my concern about anything in my life to God, I'm tapping into the wisdom and love of the infinite that's available to me. Surrendering to spirit is not waving a white flag against any enemy and saying, I give up. And yet sometimes in my life, and maybe you have already too, actually gotten to that place of giving up, and it ended up being a surrender and spirit swooped in and saved you. You might have had that experience before. But this idea of surrendering is the fifth of the 5 gifts for living a prosperous life. Okay, so let's move to this next one, which is the one that I would recommend you consider today. We're going to skip visioning because of the time constraints. The Unexpected Good program, and we have a song from Eddie Watkins that I invite you to have fun with. Many of you have seen Eddie Watkins in this room. He lives nearby somewhere, but travels the world with his music.
Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me. Money keeps coming to me. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me. Money keeps coming to me.
And if you resist these words, I invite you to take a look at why.
Money is coming to me. I can just feel it. And I believe money keeps coming to me. It's coming to me now. And I'm not worried about how. Oh yeah, money is coming to me. Come on, come on, come on. The universe is working for me. Working and working. I can just feel it. And I believe it's working for me now. And I'm not worried about how. Oh yeah, money is coming to me. More than enough to live. More than enough to give. More than enough to share. Feel like it's already here. More than enough to shop. More than enough to drop. More than enough to save. Plenty left over to give away. Money is coming to me. I can just feel it. And I believe it's coming to me now. And I'm not worried about how. Oh yeah, money is coming to me. Come on, come on, come on. The universe is working for me. Working and working. I can just feel it. And I believe it's working for me now. And I'm not worried about how. Oh yeah, money is coming to me. Well, more than enough to live, more than enough to give, more than enough to share. I feel like it's already here. More than enough to shop, more than enough to drop, more than enough to save. With plenty left over to give away.
So who would use that as an affirmation? Money is coming to me. You know, money is God in action. Everything is God, isn't it? God is everywhere present. That means money is God in expression. And if we've been told that money is filthy lucre or any of those negative terms, I invite you to heal that in your consciousness today and see that money is God's gift to you. If everything that comes into our life is from God, then the paycheck that we get, the money in our bank account, wherever it flows through, those are channels. It doesn't come from my retirement account or from investments. It comes from the one source and is flowing through those into my experience, and I can pass it on out and give acknowledgement for it coming from God by tithing 10% off the top. So, what if I were to ask you today, And this is what transformed my ability to tithe and become a prosperous person. Was on this one green sheet of paper that I received in the 1980s. And it's called the Unexpected Income Program. And the idea is, if you sign up for this, that what you're signing up for is to tithe on the unexpected good that you get, not on your main income. But as you do this prosperity prayer and are praying for others in the program, and something unexpected in the form of income comes to you, you tithe on that. And 10% of that goes into a little envelope that I'm going to give you. And you give it to the center here because you're being spiritually fed, are you not, at Center for Spiritual Living Ocala. We give this not to CSL Ocala because Ocala CSL needs it, but it's to heal our own consciousness and to be in that flow of life. As a matter of fact, my life has become ever more prosperous when I've given more than 10%. I have to admit, 10% was a beginning point for me, and I have become more prosperous because I have chosen to give more than what I receive 10% of. I have a very good friend there. She's a minister. We were co-ministers in Orlando together. And as we took on that role in the center in Orlando to rebuild a church that had closed, her husband was investing and then retired. Their investments have been so lucrative that now with his retirement, they are spending 6 months a year traveling the world. And they can't spend it all. So for us, I mean, in the fall, they're going to go to all the countries in the East. They just came back from 3 months in the British Isles. And this is the way they've chosen to spend. She loves that song, What a Wonderful World. And she's determined, I think, to see it all. And it's based on these principles of prosperity. So if, I don't know what you put for fun on your intentions list, but this is the Unexpected Income Program. And we have lots of them. So who would like to hand them out? And we'll read them together. Yeah. Oops, that one didn't print the whole page. Yes. Wait a minute, I don't have another side on this one. I need to get one. I need one myself. Thank you. For some reason, my printer skipped a little bit. You should be 2 sides. Okay, so if you were, when you have it, turn to the How It Works section on the back. Now, one thing that will be happening, which is exciting for the center, is that if you were to return the money each week as you come to different things, let's say someone took you out to dinner and that was free for you, but it cost $18. You could tithe on that and give $1.80 to the center. You could do that. Or you might choose just to do the money that really comes in unexpectedly and tithing on that. But the intention is not to tithe on what you get as your normal income. So this isn't a stretch in that way in your life, but it is training wheels to try tithing out. So here's how it works. On the reverse of this page is a specific affirmative prayer for unexpected income. As you begin and end your day reading it with awareness, you will set a law in motion for your increased good in every way, and especially for income. Your ministers and practitioners will work daily for all who have turned in their name to us as wanting to be part of the program. Together, we will make wonderful demonstrations of our faith. So the affirmation is on the other side, and it's also on the screen, and I'd like for us to read it together. I believe that God is the source of all supply, and that money is God in action, and should be used wisely and for good. I believe that my good is now flowing to me so richly and so fully that I cannot use it all, but have an abundance to spare and to share today and always. I believe that true prosperity includes the demonstration of right living conditions, right companionship, right activity, and right kinds of happiness. This word, which I speak, believing, now activates a law of universal good, and I expect to see the results. I bless all the good that is with me now, and I bless the increase. I bless all the others in CSL Ocala's unexpected income program, and I know that we shall now all prosper together in every way, and we share the good which we receive. And so it is. So you have a question? Oh, you don't have one. Who doesn't? Anybody doesn't have one? It was the same as this. It just was in a brochure form instead of the sheet of paper. Yeah. So the gift that happens is the idea is you tithe off the top. So as soon as you get some unexpected money, you put it in this envelope. Giving everyone an envelope now. Pass around the envelopes, please. And this has the affirmation on it as well. And bring it the next Sunday, whenever you're here. And we'll keep track of that here at the center. David, would you please keep track of that? And then we can say, well, if $150 came in this week, that means that the congregation took in $1,500 that week as unexpected, because it would be 10 times that amount. And so, yes, if you're saying that that year we took in $16,000 of unexpected good in that month, well, okay, so this begins today and ends on the second Sunday in November. And look in your envelope. If you don't believe in unexpected good, look in your envelope. How many more do you need? No, don't wait till the end. Yes, it comes in because you want to keep the flow going. Now, if you don't believe in unexpected good, open your envelope. Did you open your envelope? You did already. Okay. Okay. So you can choose to tithe on that and give us back a dime if you choose. It doesn't have to be today. But this idea of have the expectation, when we pray, we expect the result. And why can't that apply to money as well as to everything else in our lives? And don't be afraid of saying money is coming to me. To let that be an affirmation in our lives, because money is God in action. There is absolutely nothing outside this center that can in any way diminish your prosperity consciousness that you have within your heart right now, unless you let it. Allow the 5 gifts that we've gone over today to be what you're working on, to be grateful for the things that are happening in your life, to have intentions for that which you want to bring into your life. I know my friend Cindy had the intentions to travel the world in their retirement years before the money showed up for that to happen. But now they're living it, Then to do our forgiveness work of ourselves and everyone around us. And do the hard forgiveness work, not because the person deserves to be forgiven, but because we want to be free. And because we want to be prosperous. And to be debt-free is a wonderful thing, isn't it? It lifts us lighter. Then to also tithe and to practice it with this Unexpected Good program right now. And I invite you to then consider moving into tithing off the top. My sense was when I was first learning to tithe, that first 10% belonged to Spirit. And if I withheld it, the washer broke. I had an experience with a doctor's bill that I didn't expect. The universe gets it. How better for it to come from me intentionally so that I set a cause in motion to bring more into my life. That 10% belongs to Spirit, and I've gotten very clear on that, and have lived these last 30 years and more that way, 40 years that way. and can stand here and tell you that this works. And if there's fear or a holdback at this moment, just use this as an example. Be consistent in doing that affirmation twice a day. When you first wake up in the morning, before you go to bed at night, and then report to me next month how it's going, and see David every week with your unexpected money income that's coming in. He's the guy, right? Yes. Any questions? We do, with dollars in them. So if somebody wants to be in charge of those that want to be on the program, we have more sheets and we have more of the envelopes. Up to 50, and if you run out, let me know. I'll bring more. Okay? Yes. You could give online and just indicate that it's for the unexpected income program. Give that way, yes. And the same is true, you could sign up online. Now, I invite you all to tear that piece of paper off at the bottom and turn it in, because Reverend Cindy and I, and probably when they get back, Norma and Donna will be praying for you and doing this affirmation for you as well, all those that are signed up for the program. Oh, we don't need the envelope back. That's just a place, if you're dealing with cash, that you put it to save it in your own pocket. Oh.
So
do you want?
anything that you put in the basket when it goes around, we have envelopes here, or even a piece of paper. You can earmark it. Just about everybody here is in the system when I put it in, and I can earmark funds. I can put it in whatever program that it's for or whatever. Yeah. You know, you just leave me a note and I'll put it in there.
Good question. Thank you for that. Anybody else with a question? Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't think I have that many nickels and dimes, but we'll see. Come see me. Any other questions before we close? And I'd like to close this with a prayer. I don't think is there any slide past this one? Let's see. Oh, the only other slide I have here is that there's the date. This goes up through November 10th, the second Sunday in November. And here's your millionaire's license. So I invite, if you haven't taken a picture of that and you're taking pictures, I will leave that up. November 10th, second Sunday in November. But know that this millionaire's license is valid and true, because we're talking about consciousness. Yeah, talking about consciousness. Okay, so let's just pray our way out here today. I just give thanks for everybody here today. What fun this has been for me. If I could take that literally and with my magic wand make each and every person here prosperous, I am doing that in this moment. Knowing that the 5 gifts that we've talked about this morning, if applied in our lives, will bring that prosperity consciousness to each and every one, that their lives are forever blessed. And one of the things I love about our teaching of the Science of Mind and Centers for Spiritual Living is when things are healed, they're healed. And so if a poverty consciousness has been healed and transformed into a prosperity consciousness, that is forever. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is. Yes, who'd like to collect them? Would you collect them? Thank you. Thank you all for being here.
Grateful, grateful, grateful for all the love that I have.
Okay, so now's the time, as the topic has been for most of the morning, for celebrating our abundance. And you see the baskets are going around, and we have our affirmation here. We can say it together. It is in the nature of life to give of itself. It is the tree's nature to bear fruit and the flower's nature to bloom. It is in my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in divine flow of life, giving generously and receiving abundantly. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I am grateful. And I would point out here that we talked a lot today about like money in the basket and tithing, but we also have, right, talent, right? Very talented people here volunteering, and time, right? Time volunteering. So time and talent, you might not have money, but you might have time. You might not have any time, but you might have money. You might not have any money or time, but you got a lot of talent. And that is also a way of, reciprocating with the center also. So, text to tithe. This is a very effective way to share your abundance right here. There's a little bit of friction setting it up in the beginning, but once your phone is connected to this text to tithe, you can go right to this text and just put a number in, and that'll be the amount you tithe right there. And that's a very good way of, our record keeping system is directly connected to this process, the text to tithe. Events. All right, Living in the Flow Circle Sunday, September 2024. Next Sunday, those of you are familiar with our Circle Sunday, there's a large circle in the center of the group in the room here that breaks off into the smaller circles, and usually it's a continuation of the topic from today's lesson, spiritual growth and practice. Amy Steinberg, yeah, let's hear it. Sunday, September 15th, Amy Steinberg. If you're not aware of her music or what's going on in her circle of influence, I would definitely get involved for this event. Don't miss it. Where are we going next here? What is it? Show me. Yep. Okay. So is this a Sunday? Yeah.
Yes. So I just wanted to mention that also happening that Sunday at 5 p.m. is going to be a concert with Amy Steinberg, where we have a food fundraiser, $10 per plate, and all of those proceeds go to the center to fix our roof.
First, we are having a scheduled service at 11, which is going to be with Amy. We are having an interlude where we will be serving the paid for plates. And then after, she is having her concert, and I believe the concert starts at 5. So it's between 11 to 5, so roughly 12 to 3 would be the eating times.
All right. A lot of things happening here. You got to stay up to speed. And a lot of these things are on the website, and a lot of this information can be found on Eventbrite. And a lot of this information can be found on Facebook. And if you're wanting to stay in touch with CSL in general online, that's the place to go, is the CSL website. Yes, absolutely.
If anyone wants to be in the events or join, but you don't have the money that's posted, if you simply communicate and say, hey, I might not have $20, but maybe I have $3, 99% of the time, the answer is yes. You can still come. Just saying, a lot of people get discouraged.
All right. On to the next one. Psychedelics, Dreams, and Rituals with Galen Grigas, LMHC, Receiving Healing Messages. You want to speak on that just a little bit?
It's going to be amazing, and you will receive healing messages, I promise you. And also, I do have flyers for the Inner Healer mini retreat that's going to be this Saturday. So please come and join us the first Saturday of each month on that. And here is a beautiful flyer on Jamaica for the slots that are left to come and join us on the Jamaican New Year's Eve. New you, new year. Yes.
And just to review what this is all about, this is a book, Psychedelics, Dreams, and Rituals, and we've been doing one Sunday a month going through the whole book. bit by bit, chapter by chapter, topic by topic. And what do we got? All right, psychedelic integration circle. I can speak on this because I co-facilitate the integration circle. So this is going to happen right after the event you just saw. Galen's going to speak on Sunday. It'll be the 4th Sunday of the month, and the integration circle will be directly after that. This is a sober circle. We're not using any substances. We're just integrating any kind of non-ordinary states of consciousness which may have been induced by psychedelics or medical emergency or kind of out-of-body experience or anything else. Anything that anybody wants to share that you might go somewhere and tell them about it and they would be like, we're like, oh yeah, tell us more. So that's what the circle's all about. It's a safe harm reduction circle for non-ordinary states of consciousness. And the PRISM market. Someone else might have more information about PRISM than I do. So
The Prism Market is a quarterly event that we host. It is a fundraiser, practical realities and spiritual modalities. We have many vendors that are both inside and outside. It is free to attend. We have kids' activities. We normally have food trucks or we sell food. Water is free because everyone needs water. We're in Florida. So there's plenty of stuff you can do for free. We do invite littles. We encourage them because there's a whole space for the kids set up. And then we have psychic readers. We have card readers. We have people who sell candles and oils and anything you could really, any spiritual modality. We've had people who did chi and the singing bowls. So we have two, what are they called? Where you get up? We have two, where's Pam when I need her? Thank you. The workshops. Thank you for the word. We have 2 workshops. So like at certain points, yeah, because Karen's doing one for composting and then your mama's doing one for clean living. Yeah.
I was just going to mention the chili cook-off fundraiser, which is $10 to enter your chili and $5 to taste and vote.
all right, we have, wait a minute, don't go, you're jumping too on me. We have the monthly newsletter. I would ask people to sign up for this if this is interesting. This is another way to stay in touch with the center and what's going on, what's happening on here on an ongoing basis. Sign up is on the table, and there's a cool thing over there. It's like, what is it, a QR code where you hit it and you go right to the website where you sign up. So, Science of Mind magazine starts again, double issue today, September, and the following month in a 2-month bi-monthly issue. Aaron's got them right here. They're in the bookstore. This magazine has been in steady print for almost 100 years. I think 1926 it's been in continuous print. This is a good magazine to get an idea. It's got like the 10 kind of principles of, Centers for Spiritual Living, and then it's got the daily affirmations. And I use these books all the time. That's like my spiritual growth and practice. These little one-day read-along meditation books. And I highly recommend this magazine. Let's see what else is coming. Volunteer opportunities. Anybody want to volunteer? We talked about time. We talked about treasure. We talked about talent. If you've got an overabundance of time or talent, this is your opportunity right here. Did you want to go? Yeah.
I'm looking for volunteers Monday at 8 p.m. There is a pop-up soup kitchen that is going to be hosting between 150 to 200 people. So if anyone is available this Monday and Mondays at 8 p.m. at the Spin City here in Ocala, we have a pop-up food kitchen and we feed people hot meals. So here, Spin City off of Magnolia, 8 p.m. It is for the unhoused. So as COVID is rising, bring your own mask, bring your own gloves, and I prefer no small children or animals.
And as you can see here, if you want to clean up in this business, nonprofit, they got lots for you to do right here. They'll give you a broom and you can clean up. That's my dad joke for the day. So, we got more over here.
I feel like I keep talking, but I just want to mention that Prison Market is also looking for volunteers. Sign up is going to be on the welcome table, and that we are always looking for volunteers here at the center. You can get with my partner Cole Diaz. He's the volunteer coordinator, and he can help place you inside your volunteer circle.
With that, I would like to thank everyone that actually came out today, anybody who's tuned in online, and now it's time for kids. Are we ready for all that? We got kid music. We got youngins. Bring them in. Kids? No kids? We got to keep the ball moving here. Okay. Bring them up. Bring them up. Cue the music. Let's do it. No kid music? Okay. All right. What's that?
The kitchen, we are serving just a light lunch. And what we'd like you to do is to come to the door, and then you go get your food. They'll serve it to you, and then just go out the other door. We're trying to keep the kitchen from people just chowing down there. Okay, so just go on through, and you can sit outside. You can sit at the tables. Thank you.
Okay. So we got some children coming up. You want to come up there, bud? Okay. Okay. So we just want to give respect to our young people and the young people that live inside of us. And we are going to say, warm up your hands. We honor you. We see your light on all that you do. Yay. All right. And so it is. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. We honor you. We see your light and we shine on all that you do. Yes, yes. And so it is. And here's our prayer for protection. Fun fact. One of the stories I had heard is one of the astronauts had brought this prayer with them into outer space when they went up during the early space program. And they had this with them in the spaceship out in outer space, James Dillett Freeman. All right, prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So it is.